Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, Head Currency Analyst. In this video, I'm going to take you through the Forex market wrap. I'm going to go over a few pairs that actually took some positions on this week, the current open positions. I'm going to basically close these positions out, so I'm going to go through each one of those. But I'm going to start on the US dollar index first. We spoke about this in depth quite a lot recently, and the fact that the weekly time frame was suggesting that it was more of a reversal market and that we were going to see some buyers step in. Now it's taken until today to see that, really, because we've been bouncing back and forth lately between this sort of 90-50 level where price is bouncing from and the sort of low $89 area as well, and price has just really been struggling to kind of find any kind of buyers. There was some poor CPI data out this week, which also put a bit of a sort of shock into the market, and we saw a little bit of downside to the dollar initially, but dollar now boosting back up. And one market that we spoke about in depth was dollar CAD. And now it made sense to hold on to this trade while we could, because basically the what we've seen is the oil markets drop, which has floated through into the CAD market or has had an effect on the Canadian dollar. We've seen that weaken, dollar gaining strength. We're now seeing price break out of this level. I would hold on to this trade, however it's coming up to the weekend. Well, it is the weekend now, and what I would like to do is close these positions out. It's always safe to do that over a weekend, and then what we can do on Monday is, if price comes back in and retests, we can look for some further upside. But for now, it didn't play out in terms of the sort of move that I wanted to see, but we're closing out on a positive just because we can see that move to the upside. So I'm going to close out dollar CAD. Still like this market to the upside. If anything, look at the weekly time frame, very similar to dollar index. I'm still expecting a pullback perhaps into these weekly lows around about 124.65 is the kind of area that I'm looking at for price to eventually get back to. Another market we looked at was dollar Swiss, and again, while that one's in positive numbers, I'm going to close this one out as well. Basically, we were looking at dollar Swiss to move to the upside. We were hoping those CPI numbers would be the sort of catalyst to seeing price rally up. So we went long in above this candlestick high, stop losses below the lows. The reason why I went in on this candlestick is because we rejected those previous structure lows in there, almost like a little liquidity grab from the market, and then we've seen price starting to rally. And again, this was more of a reversal trade, so we needed to give it some time, but whilst this is in profit, it's good to close it, especially because we are seeing a little bit of Swissy strength as well. But if we look at the weekly time frame again, all of this price action is suggesting that that reversal is going to come in those dollar pairs. Another market that we looked at this week was Kiwi Yen. We went short on Kiwi Yen. We really like the idea of shorting the New Zealand dollar. Price came up. It gave this really nice rejection pattern of this key resistance zone. So looked for the short position below the low, stop losses above the highs. Nice little wick candle down the daily time frame. Took a few days again. Now we've started to see that sort of rollover come through, but nice positive trade here. This one's close to those targets which we are looking for down at these lows in here, but in profit. Going to close out over the weekend, because what we could likely see next week is a pullback into these lows, and we can just look to take another position. We might as well bank the capital now, use that capital for a further trade in the future. So if I can just grab onto this, here we go, close, all done there. Another good market to watch going into potentially next week. But really speaking, the dollar is the one that we need to keep an eye on. The dollar is the sort of major sort of mover, and will also give us direction across many cross pairs as well. So keep an eye on the US dollar going into next week. Obviously keep an eye out for the week ahead analysis next week. Again, should highlight that the dollar is gaining in strength. We'll look at the other major currencies to keep our eyes on as well. But if you did like the content this week, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel, we really appreciate it. If you have any comments, any feedback, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.